Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
TNA Wrestling returned with a bang with Hard to Kill last weekend, and this weekend was their first television taping under the new branding of TNA Impact. And my God, did they deliver an amazing, amazing show. It had everything. The show was headlined by Will Ospreay versus Josh Alexander 2, but they started the show. And you know, when we always say the age-old advocate on this show, we say you start a show hot. And a few occasions I've said they started the show so hot that it gave me second-degree burns. They did exactly that this week on TNA Impact. It started with a six-way X-Division match with Trey Miguel versus Kushida versus Laredo Kid versus Mike Bailey versus Vikingo versus Jake Summink. They say that X-Division has no limits, and it absolutely proved that. This match was absolutely crazy. There was high flying all over the place. There was double choke slams. There was everything there in Hurricane Ranas, Spanish flyers, you name it. They done it in this match. They blew me away with this opening contest on TNA. Jake Something, though, picks up the win when he reversed a Hurricane Rana onto a chokeslam. Unbelievable. What a start, TNA Impact. What a great way to kick off Impact Wrestling. Will Ospreay was backstage talking about Josh Alexander, saying that, he's a cheeky little slag. What an Essex boy he is. Um, he was great. And he was basically saying to Josh Alexander, you've got one chance to put me away, and it's going to be tonight. And can he do it? Will didn't think he could. There was also a little promo by Ash by Elegance, the former Dana Brooke. He has come out. She has responded to criticism to say she was going to be a Tony Storm ripoff by saying he's absolutely nothing like Tony Storm. So to be fair to her, it will be a great interest to see how the character develops in TNA, what she's got planned for TNA as well. Giselle Shaw was backstage, and she was warning Jordan Grace, who was the newly crowned Knockouts champion, that she was coming for her. Gail King actually come along and said she doesn't need the shorterage, that she proved that at the pay-per-view and that she should go it alone. And Giselle Shaw didn't like that very much. Sets us up for a really competitive match. Was next was Tasha Steelz versus the debut in Xia Brookside. Xia Brookside from good over here in the UK and Wales is a great name on the circuit. She is a great, great, great wrestler. And this was a really competitive match between the two. I hadn't seen a lot of Steelz, to be quite honest with you. She's very, very impressive. She's got the dance moves, that's for sure, for the entrance. But in the ring, she is very impressive. She come out. It was a really great match. They were doing so much good stuff. Brookside wins this with a pin with a bridge. It was a very good bridge as well. Kind of caught maybe Tasha Steelz a bit off guard with it, but I tell you what, we're talking women's division wrestling, and we know that we're massive advocates on here. And we've said all along that TNA and NWA were the two companies over in America that deliver constantly with the women's wrestling, and absolutely knocked it out of the park again with this. Very, very good match. Loved it. And interesting, Xia Brookside, interesting 2024 on the horizon, and Harley Hudson still to come with TNA wrestling as well. The future over there in the women's division is looking very, very bright indeed. Jordan Grace needs to have the head on the swivel, so to speak. We then come to an old school tag team match between the grizzled young veterans, former WWE guys, against Kaz and Eric Young, two stalwarts of the old TNA. It really was. And this match just reminded me about those matches when I was growing up as a kid. And you was always trying to get that hot tag, get the hot tag, get the hot tag, and Kaz and Young couldn't do it. They were grizzled young veterans were halving that ring away. They were doing all the old school stuff. Eventually, the hot tag did happen to Eric Young. However, the grit your teeth from the grizzled young veterans pick up the victory, and they will move on. And they've already said that Bullet Club ABC they're coming for they're coming for them. So Bullet Club ABC against the Grizzled Young Veterans. Even the tag division in Impact Wrestling is looking smoking hot right now. And that will be a match I really want to see somewhere down the line if they can make it happen. But that wasn't all, because Frankie Kazarian turned on Eric Young at the end of it. He beat him up. He hit him with his finisher. There was a lot of "fuck you, Frankie" chants from the crowd. They weren't very happy with it as well. So Frankie Kazarian looks like he's on a collision course with Eric Young. So that should be another great match. They're going to be on show at some point during TNA. And then becomes the man everybody wants, the Nic Nemeth, the former Dolph Ziggler, who debuted at Hard to Kill. He come out, he was saying that, he's excited, he's nervous, he's done he's done this all before 19 years ago in Win Another World, but he's going to do it again under the name Nic Nemeth. And he wants to earn his shot. He doesn't want to just challenge for the title. He wants to go through everybody and earn the shot. But he got interrupted. And Macklin, who's also had the same, the same path as Nick in a lot of ways. They're both in WWE. They were both released. They're both now in Impact Wrestling. But Nic Nemeth said, Macklin said to Nic Nemeth that you're a phony, and everyone's just going to say, "What about Dolph Ziggler?" But he did get zigzagged for his troubles during the end of this. But it looks like Nic Nemeth's first feud in TNA is Macklin. Take my money already, please, Scott D'Amore and the team over there. Must also shout out Matt Raywald and on the commentary on this. He was absolutely brilliant. We had him on the show as well, and he has been great. He was so good on commentary. Him and Tom Hannifan have such great chemistry. They really are two good commentators, and they were right up in the on the balcony section where they were at the start of the show, and they welcomed us all. They were on the balcony section of that show. It was really, really good. But they're two great guys. Jordynne Grace was backstage. At this point, she was talking about winning the Knockouts Championship, and she was interrupted by the former Knockouts champion, Trinity. And Trinity is cashing in her rematch clause on next week's Impact. Thank you very much indeed. We look forward to watching that match next week. A lot of rumors about Trinity at the moment as well, maybe going back to WWE, but next week she could become again the Knockouts Championship. Jordynne Grace was the first person to beat her in a single match. So that's going to be great. I can't wait for that. Jai Vidal was next. I've never seen this guy before. He's from LA. And the fact of the matter is, he was brought out of LA and he hates LA. And he basically said he could knock anybody out in the roster. Jai Vidal, you make these mistakes, don't you? That brought out PCO, who annihilates him. He beat him with the PCO salt in a match, an impromptu match that started off. You never know. You never say that, those sorts of things in wrestling. You never get a mic and call out the roster. You're committing career suicide, son. And you certainly did with PCO, because he come out and destroyed you, my friend. So maybe a note for the future. Don't ever do that again. Motor City Machine Guns are going against the System. I believe this is next week as well. Thank you again, Impact, for this. They were talking about going against the System next week. Moose, Myers, and one other, and they need a partner. They've got one, and he's going to make it rain. It's the Rainmaker, Okada, coming to Impact Wrestling next week. Now, the news has just broken that he's leaving New Japan at the end of January. Loads of people already speculating where he's going to go. Well, everybody, next week he's going to be on Impact Wrestling on AXS TV. So make sure you watch that, teaming with the Machine Guns against the System. Thank you very much again, TNA, for that match. And then to top everything off, we hit the main event. Josh Alexander, Will Ospreay. I had literally had one word written down for this match. Wow. It was unbelievable. Yeah, you thought that sometimes it's difficult when you do so well in the first match for your second match to top it. They managed it. They absolutely killed this. This was absolutely incredible. Will Ospreay's final match in TNA. I think he's coming back over here in the UK to finish off dates for Revolution Pro Wrestling before heading to TNA, possibly before heading to TNA, we wish. Before heading to AEW, I would imagine Final Resolution time will be the time that we would be there, maybe. This match was brilliant, but Ospreay did say that he's going to give Alexander the chance to take him out, and he didn't think he would be able to do it. Alexander done it, and he done it in style. This match was, listen, for me, match of the week across anything I've already seen this week. I've watched WWE, I've watched AEW, obviously SmackDown's tonight over here in the UK. I've watched NXT. Go out your way to watch that match on TNA. Watch the show. Watch the whole show, because they do not let you down. This show was the show of the week so far. I'm giving TNA Impact 9.5 out of 10. 9.5. It was that good this week. They blew me away. Their first Impact show back as TNA Impact was unbelievable. Go and check that out if you can find it on AXS TV or anywhere you can. Check out TNA. They massively delivered this week. Incredible show. Incredible. I'm looking forward to next week already with the matches they've announced. Unreal. How to top this week? Watch next week, because they may just do it. Guys, this has been the TNA Impact Review. Welcome back, TNA, as well, by the way, on the Hitting the Turnbuckle channel. We're going to be back. We have got big, strong Mims coming up very, very soon. Until next time, everybody, buckle down and stay safe.